Hey, lonely people, and welcome back to Pork Chops, Rice, and Peaches. I'm Noah.
I'm Richard.
And unfortunately, this is the first video where I get to use that, but it probably won't be the first one that will be aired. Today we're talking about Muppets Treasure Island. I'll let him recover before we go any further.
For the answer to that inside joke, see the last One Piece video on Thriller Bark.
Oh boy. Yes, so we're talking about Muppets Treasure Island today because we did Muppets Christmas Carol last year for Christmas.
We did, and Treasure Island was originally published in November of whatever year in the late 1800s that Robert Louis Stevenson published it. So
yes,
we figured we'd make this our November contribution.
One of our November videos, yes. Muppets Treasure Island, and I think they were trying to do around the time that Jim Henson. I almost said Chris Hansen. Instead of Jim Henson.
Right.
I think around the time that Jim Henson died, they were trying to figure out where they were going to take the Muppets. And I think the Muppets had been picked up by Walt Disney to make sure they didn't go under the studio, the company. Mm-hmm. And they wanted to see if they could do like Muppets retelling classic tales. Is I think what the idea was. If I have the idea correct.
Did you look that up? I mean, is that actually?
I remember hearing that, but we should look into it. But they did the Christmas Carol, and I believe that came out before this one.
Well, Disney bought. This says Disney bought the Muppets and Bear in the Big Blue House from the Henson family in February of 2004, but the movie is 1996. So this must have been. So this was Brian Henson's first.
Maybe Disney. No, because Disney produced it then. Then Disney didn't own it. They were producing.
They were producing it
because it started with the classic Disney. Oh, and the sliding down.
Gotcha.
The Millennials castle intro. Yes, our castle intro.
Okay.
And then, so maybe they didn't. I know they own it now, so they own the Muppets now, so that would have been. They would have produced this instead.
So what did you think of
maybe the Jim Henson Company was trying to do it.
Yeah, I probably now little inside baseball. Treasure Island is a novel that I always taught in homeschool that I made all the kids read in your first year of doing lit studies with me. Mm-hmm. It was one of the first novels that we did because it's a deceptively easy read, and Long John Silver is one of my favorite characters in literature because you spend the entire time reading the story wondering, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he really a ruthless pirate, or does he just talk a good game? And the story leaves you kind of hanging. And that's one of the reasons why I like it as much as I do. So I went into this movie with high hopes, high expectations.
So what'd you think?
Well, I want you to lead on this one.
Oh, you want me to lead on this one?
I want you to lead on this one, yeah.
Okay, so obviously this one came after Christmas Carol. Mm-hmm. Christmas Carol was, I think, kind of like Muppets Christmas Carol was like kind of a beloved adaptation.
Yep.
Of the classic Christmas story. This is not as good as Muppets Christmas Carol. It is not. It is still a delightfully charming take.
Okay.
And it's a good Muppets movie.
Okay.
It is a fun Muppets adventure. I would not necessarily say it's a good adaptation. Now, again, it's been well over a decade since I've read the original Treasure Island.
Sure.
But I'm pretty sure this is not how the story goes. And then the whole, but as a Muppets movie, it's fun, it's quirky, it's got all the charm, and it's kind of a delightful little romp with the Muppets. It's always fun. And
okay.
The Muppets are very rarely not entertaining, and that's usually due to like poor script writing.
Okay.
This does not have that issue. This is fun. There's fun gags. There's fun jokes. The songs are entertaining and enjoyable. with a couple exceptions. But the overall, I liked this movie. I like this movie quite a bit.
So what is it you mentioned a couple times when we talked prior to viewing this, the difference in the acting focus from Michael Caine as Ebenezer Scrooge
Yes.
to Tim Curry as Long John Silver.
Yes, the exact quote, and I read this years ago, and when I watched both movies, I kind of agreed, and that is Michael Caine treats the Muppets like they're fellow actors,
Okay.
whereas Tim Curry plays himself like he's a Muppet.
Tim Curry's performance was theatrical.
Very.
It was a
Very.
little bit over the top.
Oh, it was so over the top.
It was.
Well, I mean, and Caine was kind of theatrical, but on the opposite end of the spectrum, it felt like
a little more reserved.
Caine was reserved. He was. There was spite and hate behind his words.
Well, that's
But
because that's Ebenezer Scrooge.
and it's because
right?
it's Ebenezer Scrooge, but he was able to do that without being like over the top. He was able to spew vile with like barely a whisper.
Right.
And Tim Curry is sitting here like, this is my song. You don't get to over. He's stealing the show, and of course it's Tim Curry. He's stealing the show every time he's on screen.
And while he's doing that, Kevin Bishop as Jim Hawkins.
Yeah.
I have to say, for a child actor and for a child actor's first big movie, that was a sensational performance.
It was overall. I think it was good.
Really good, and he held.
Not a fan of his song numbers, but I can't criticize him for that.
His age. And then just the natural vocal range of a young boy that age, you know,
that's not a shot at him,
right?
It's just
they all gave it their all, and he held his own against Tim Curry. I think that's the thing that I like.
He did a good job, yeah.
Now,
obviously, Tim Curry's not going to like try to overwhelm a kid,
right?
I can't imagine that man would try to intentionally try to overwhelm other people.
Never gotten the idea that he's one of those diva actors.
I've never gotten that idea. I think he always gives his 110% to roles, but I've never heard anything negative said about him. For years, for a couple of decades, the only Tim Curry performance that I've ever seen and ever knew of was what everybody knows him from, Rocky Horror. The very first time I saw him not in Rocky Horror was The Hunt for Red October. Okay.
And, I mean, that is...
Did you ever watch the original It?
Yeah, but I think that came after Hunt for Red October.
I mean, probably, but
yeah.
Okay, I was just curious.
No, but I'm just saying that the first time I saw him after that, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, his clown in It was creepy, and so much so that when they remade it, I was thinking, why do you remake this? Because he's really hard to beat in
It's
that.
really good. Skarsgård did a good job from everything I saw from Skarsgård.
I haven't seen it, but what I have seen...
But I think Curry's better because he's doing it without all the CGI helping.
He's just a talented performer.
He was.
Right?
He was just an amazing...
And so his performance in this, a ton of energy. You can't hide his talent.
Yes. Right? No, you can't. I remember my first thing that I ever saw Tim Curry in was Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. And I don't know, because that was one of those things that I always watched at like friends' houses. We only had those like when I was a little older, like 12.
Right.
And Jonah and Ada watched them, but I watched those at friends' houses. But he's a bellkeep in Home Alone, and he's trying to kick the kid out of the hotel because the kid is like staying in the hotel.
He's a bellhop. Okay.
He's the front desk person.
Oh, okay.
And he's trying to kick the kid out because he's like, I think this kid has stolen the credit card he's using to pay for this room.
I do not remember that movie.
Maybe we'll watch it.
Maybe
it's Christmas. Maybe we'll watch the first two as a Christmas special.
Oh, let's do that.
But he's in the second one.
Okay.
So.
Oh, that'll be fun.
But I love him as Silver in this. He's just fun.
There's a couple things about this movie that caught my attention that made me, for the first time ever, I grew up with Sesame Street.
Yes.
So I've grown up with Muppet characters.
Yes.
There were times where it was very clear that he was walking behind prop pieces that I've never noticed before.
Yes.
And that's not a shot on the actor.
No.
The production values on this, on how they did it, it was not...
It didn't feel like the production value was as good as Christmas Carol.
Or the Muppet movie, or
the Muppet movie.
Or some of the other stuff that they've
it's
done.
still kind of impressive. Like some of the sets were pretty impressive.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it was nowhere near as good as other Muppet productions.
Right. I hated this movie.
Yeah.
I hated this movie.
Yeah.
This scored a 9 on the Napoleon Dynamite scale.
Jeez. Okay.
Oh yeah, this
All
is
right.
why I wanted you to go first, because I didn't want to destroy the mood for you.
Nah,
but,
it's all good.
So I will tell you this: it's the writing. It's 100% the writing.
Yeah.
It's not the directing. It's not the lighting. It's not the costuming. It's the writing.
Yeah.
This movie lacked the zaniness that is the cornerstone of the Muppets.
Okay.
Right? If you just think of the Muppet Show theme song, in the madness that goes with that, that is the tone that every Muppet performance should be.
Okay.
And it's not in this movie. It is completely gone.
Okay.
And that I have to rack it up to the writing.
Okay.
I never laughed out loud once during this movie, and I used to say I'm an easy laugh. I'm probably not anymore, but I will tell you what. I kept my mouth shut while we were watching this because Mama Peaches was really excited about watching this with me. So we found a night to sit and watch it, and I kept my mouth shut. And about, I don't know, 3/4 of the way through the movie, she looked up and she said, "This is really bad." And I said, "Yes, it is. Thank you for saying that. It's just bad. This is a bad movie." I can separate the performances and the actors and the effort from the writing, and the writing of this movie was atrocious. And like, I understand that they can't tell the story of Treasure Island.
Yeah.
I understand some of the writing choices they made to make a Muppet version of it work, but at the same time, I just thought, wow, that was an unnecessary change. That's really bad. That's the best you could come up with. They completely changed. Well, let's just first of all, Billy Connolly as Billy Bones was fantastic.
Okay.
He's a hoot, and he's probably the character that came closest to a character from the book.
Okay.
But still retained the family values of a Muppet movie.
Okay.
All right, because in the book, Billy Bones he's pretty frightening.
Okay.
Right, and in the movie, they kept all the elements of his character, and Billy Connolly's just a riot to begin with. He's just hysterical. So, but the owner of the inn in the novel is supposed to be his mother.
Okay.
In the movie, is not. He's just some orphan. And I sat there thinking to myself, why? Why did you do that? You could have had the same hilarity, because that actress was fantastic.
Yes.
Her blowing out the window, carrying the bad guy Muppets, and beating the snot out of them. The oversized dress because supposedly she has some enormously large butt. I mean, that whole thing was funny and it played well. But like, why did you need to make Jim an orphan? And why did you? Because the story works with him being, that's the family inn.
Okay.
I mean, stuff like that. It was annoying little changes. And the lady was a riot. I mean, that character was hysterical in her performance. It still wasn't laugh out loud funny.
Okay.
But you could see that she was giving it her all.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. You know? So, but other than that, it was just like, wow, if I had two thoughts when this movie was over with. I'm going to ruin this for Noah. And then my next thought was...
Well, I wasn't going into this expecting it to be Treasure Island starring the Muppets.
Right.
I expected it to be a Muppet movie that was Treasure Island.
Loosely based
on Treasure Island. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I did. I will say the movie is a little too long.
Mm-hmm.
It drags.
Yep.
Right before the third act, and there's a lot that could be cut out. But I mean, as something that you can just pop on and a kid would be entertained by, I would I would.
You could pop this movie on and let any kid watch it and never worry about what they're watching, and they might absolutely love it.
Yeah, they might absolutely, because it's Muppets. There's nothing here that's going to to be harmful to a kid. It's yeah, just...
and every parent needs a collection like that.
Oh yeah,
things that you can trust that you know you don't have to worry about.
Oh yeah. Now I can see why they didn't make more movies after this one, because I can't imagine that this one did super well, as like a box office or anything else.
I have no idea. Let's find out.
I know people look on it kind of fondly with.
I think a lot of that has to do with your generation,
the nostalgia of
yeah.
I can see that.
Well, but I'll also tell you this, and
well, I also like some of the things that they did. Like we see all of Kermit.
Yes,
this might have been the first time I had seen a Muppet movie that I had. That you had seen all of Kermit not sitting on something.
Oh, gotcha.
Because you always see Kermit and he's sitting on something. That's where you see his legs, and maybe they kick his legs. He's walking. He's doing flips.
Have you never seen the Muppet movie?
I've seen it. I don't remember him doing anything.
He rides a bike in it.
Okay, that might be one of those. I have that movie blocked out. There was something in that. I think it was the frog legs that freaked me out as a kid. I think it was the whole frog legs subplot that freaked me out as a kid.
I find as we're having these discussions, moments where his childhood, there was just terror that I never suspected.
And I never ever watched it again.
Gotcha.
It was like, I don't like this. I don't like this. They're trying to hunt down the funny green frog and cook him up. And I was like, that's
Charles Durning, wasn't it, doing that?
I have no idea. I blocked that. Watched it when I was like 5, 6. Blocked that crap out from my mind. All I remember is frog legs.
Wow.
And Sweetums chasing after a car saying, I want to go to Hollywood. That's probably why I like, because that's like the only other thing I can remember from the Muppet movie.
Gotcha.
And that's probably why I like Sweetums so much as a Muppet. He's my favorite Muppet.
Sweetums? I don't even know Sweetums by name.
He's the big hairy one.
Oh, gotcha.
You had that. We had this exact same conversation in Christmas Carol.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it because I
love Sweetums. Sweetums is great.
That had a heck of a cast in that movie too.
The Muppet movie.
The Muppet movie. Steve Martin, James Coburn, Dom DeLuise was in it. Richard Pryor. Yep, Charles Durning, Doc Hopper.
Oh,
yep,
gotcha.
That was right. Yeah, Elliot Gould was in it. Bob Hope. Yeah, they.
That's a lot.
They pulled out all the steps in that movie.
So maybe we should watch that one.
When the Muppets came out, I mean, I remember as a kid being very disappointed when I found out that most of the Muppets were being pulled from Sesame Street and that they were doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I never fell in love with the Muppets like a lot of my classmates did, like a lot of my peers in high school. I never understood the humor of the Swedish Chef.
Yeah,
I never understood. Was it? That's just annoying. That's like a fly buzzing around your ear.
I love Swedish Chef. No, I don't, because I love Swedish Chef.
And then is it Beaker?
I love Beaker.
The pencil? Yeah. I mean, these are the things that I've never liked these characters. Now, the two old guys up in the balcony.
Yeah, that's because you relate to them.
As you can tell by this movie review.
Well, that's your view on the Muppets.
It is. I love those two guys. They're hysterical. So
money back.
And seeing them on the ship was hysterical.
Yes, as the two.
Yeah, that was great. So, That Muppets Treasure Island. We got through that one.
I figured that was going to be a quick one.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on Muppets Treasure Island? Nostalgic? Is it a nostalgia trip for you, or are you more objective in your analysis? Let us know.
Oh, damn!
What?
Here's a better question. Do I make you not want to watch it, or does he make you want to run out and get a copy? That's the better question.
And we were pitching.
That's it for this episode of Pork Chops, Rice, and Peaches. Leave your comments down below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because we occasionally have good stuff here.
Yeah. See you next time.
Bye.